All right, so I have officially hit 30 days owning this Supra. This Supra? Nah, this Supra. So how do I know it's been 30 days? My bank just called me. I need to make a payment, but it inspired me to make this video. So I was like, you know what? For the people out there that are looking to get a Supra, what do they need to know? What should they know before getting into it? That's the purpose of this video. Hopefully it helps some of you guys out there make some sort of decision. But for others, I hope it's some more Supra content for you guys to just enjoy, because I'm gonna go into it. Don't get me wrong, I love Supras. There's the good, there's the bad, and there's the ugly, just like anything in life. But let's get into it. So first things first, I do want to point out it's fast. It's one of my fastest cars I've ever owned. I've owned a G35, a G37. I've owned an Integra GSR, as you guys know. I've owned a Miata, so it is the fastest car I've owned, obviously. Making about 382 horsepower as listed by them. Not sure what that transfers to, wheel horsepower, but it is the fastest car I've ever driven. So it's the funnest car, just naturally. Although the Miata is very close. If those of you that know. Yeah, throughout owning this, I've learned quite a lot about owning a sports car or a Supra or any car that's above a certain value. You have to be very mindful of certain things. So sometimes when I'm gonna meet up for whether it's a soccer game or some sort of outdoor activity, I wouldn't think too much of it, like a park or something. I would just drive and get there, and I never looked into it. Now, there was this one time where I was driving the Supra and part of the parking lot was full of gravel, okay? It was full of gravel, full of dirt, and I had just washed the car. But specifically with the Supra, it's a little lower than my other cars. And so driving through that was so painful, and I had to do it because that was the only parking lot available. So those are things that are gonna come up, and you're gonna think about that you didn't think you'd have to think about before. So definitely wanna point that out, that it is gonna limit you a lot in terms of parkings. I find myself not wanting to park next to other people anymore. I park so far when I go to Walmart or Target. I park literally at the end of the parking lot because people just be smashing shopping carts and you have to be very mindful of these things, because any little ding can bring down the value of your car, because cars like these, they actually retain their value, if not go up. I mean, you guys have seen the R34s, the RX-7s, the Supra, the Mark IV. Those have only gone up over the years because these have a cult following. And that was why, I decided to buy the Supra too, because I knew value-wise, it was only gonna go up. That's just one of many things. I really bought it because I love how it looks. And I love literally the sound of the Supra. It's incredible. A lot of you guys are gonna be like, oh, it's a B58. Yeah, well, still, I'm a business guy, and sometimes just making decisions is reflective of who you are. Toyota making the decision to choose this specific motor means it's aligned with what they're trying to achieve. And so, that aside, we're not gonna go into it. That's been like the longest convo ever. Another thing I really noticed is obviously storage space, right? Before I didn't think of it because I had back seats and a trunk to fit all of my gear. Now, I'm a videographer, I make videos, so tripods and that sort of thing, not anymore. I can't even fit a basic light stand in my vehicle. That's a big deal for some of you guys that maybe want to daily it and still do what you love. If you're a photographer, videographer, or maybe you do catering or you deliver cakes, or who knows. That is a very big aspect of this, is the storage space. But if you're buying a Supra, you probably aren't looking for it to have storage space. Another thing I noticed, specifically, I guess with my experience, the front of it, the bottom portion, because of the way that the lip is shaped, rock chips happened fairly easy. So the first thing that I thought of was to get PPF protection. So if you have a Supra, get PPF. If you're not gonna get PPF, at least get it ceramic coated. Now, I haven't done it yet, but it's in the works as we speak. I'm getting quotes because I already got 2 tiny little rock chips. It's actually on the underside. I don't want to point it out because it crushes my heart. But that is another thing to think of, is you're gonna have to set aside an extra $5 grand, $6 grand for proper paint protection, PPF, paint protection film. So just know that maybe you're gonna buy a Supra for $40, $50, $60,000. Well, now add $5 grand on top, okay? Because why wouldn't you get it? right? And that's another thing. I know I've been talking bad about it so far, but let me tell you the good things. The burble, whatever tune they put, you know, coming from the factory, it's phenomenal. If you're accelerating at like 4 or 5K RPMs, and instead of just letting go completely, you kind of like dance with the throttle, the burbles just come in sport mode like there's no tomorrow. Like if the car is warmed up and it's been going for a while, if you do it the right way, it won't just pop, it'll crack. I'm trying to find, you know, a moment that my car does that. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's the coolest thing ever. Another thing, you know, that's good, at least for me personally, my girl loves it. There's enough space for her. So that was pretty important to me. I don't know how many of you guys out there have partners, or maybe partners are like, oh, you know, like, I don't really like your car, or I want to be comfortable in your car. I at least know from my experience, my girlfriend doesn't just like it, she loves it. She says she feels cool in it. There's enough room for her and her things. And she's a pretty tall girl too. So I'm like 6'2", she's closer to like 5'9". So she's pretty tall. But yeah, another thing that I did notice, okay, this is more in the middle, is Apple CarPlay. I don't know how many of you guys are experiencing the same thing, but Apple CarPlay is so glitchy for me. I don't know what it is. One day it'll connect automatically, the other day I have to disconnect and reconnect it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my specific Supra. Maybe I have to take it back to the dealer, but it is very wonky. Just keep that in mind, you know, look for that. When you buy it, is Apple CarPlay being kind of iffy? So you can bring it up right then and there before you even buy the car, okay? Because I didn't do that. But yeah, now some more good stuff I will say is it provokes conversation everywhere. I took my dad out to Father's Day and we had it parked next to the area where we were eating, because it was outdoor eating area. And every single person that walked up to the restaurant stopped, turned and looked at it. And it's such a cool feeling, you know, knowing that other people appreciate, I guess, your hard work, but also appreciate your car, that it's not just a car to get you from point A to B, but a lot of people view it as well as like an aesthetic. It's a good aesthetic thing to look at. It's very nice to look at, and it'll lighten your mood if you just look at it. I know for myself, you know, another good thing, every time I look at my Supra, I get in a good mood. There's no other way to put it. I just get in a good mood. Whatever's going on in life, I look at it and I just smile. So think about that. If you're someone that maybe gets, you know, upset easily, or if you're someone that, you know, you feel like your whole life you've been just grinding and, you know, X, Y, and Z, and you're thinking about getting your dream car, and you can, only if you can. If you're not financially able to, don't do it yet, okay? I'll go into that in a little bit. But if you can, 100% do it. It will lift your mood. It will make you work harder. It will make you work better, and it will just make you love life, because now you're not chasing a certain, you know, vibe. Now your vibe can instantly happen whenever you want as soon as you enter the car. Of course, you have to be a car enthusiast like myself to be able to tap into that, but most likely if you're watching this, you are. Those are some things that I've learned in my first 30 days. I'm gonna probably do like a 6-month update, but yeah, I'm fairly new. I did have to buy some ramps to even be able to park at my apartments, because even the slightest incline, there's an incline in my apartment parking, would have destroyed this car, would have destroyed it. And I'm actually gonna show you a clip right now of the Supra backing up into it. Just imagine if those ramps were not there. And so yeah, guys, that is all I have for today's video. A quick little update, 30 days. Hope you guys stick around for the 6-month and maybe a year update. Maybe, you know, I'll have some of these things that are bad turn good, or some of these things that are good turn bad. Who knows? It's only my first 30 days, okay? Some of you guys believe in the honeymoon phase. I guess you'd say that I'm in the honeymoon phase with the car. But yeah, I mean, overall, man, I love it. I love it. Everything I worked for in the last 10 years, I saved up little by little by little by little to be able to afford it. And now I can say I'm able to afford it, and it feels absolutely incredible. Yeah, guys, again, my name's Aram. This is my Supra, at Supra Aram. Follow me on Instagram, leave a like on this video, and I would appreciate a comment on what you would like to see next, because I'm gonna build this channel. We're gonna post weekly. I hired an editor. We're gonna start going all in on this, so stick around, guys. Let's see where we can go.